do you not think that would be a piece of history that regime would have?
Yono Bakri, gue telepon di reject. Belakangan gue baru tahu handphone lo auto reject kan?
Iya, itu juga aku baru tahu demi Allah.
Emang kalau konglomerat sih emang gitu
Bang,
sih nggak
sumpah,
mau.
nih lihat sekarang nih.
Kan kalau pemikiran ateis nih ya,
Iya.
Tuhan kan nggak kelihatan mana buktinya Tuhan gitu.
Oke.
Ketika itu pasti kan dulu pas ateis mikirnya gitu.
Betul.
Apa ngebantah pikiran itu tuh apa?
Makanya ngomong dengan orang ateis, kalau pakai metode ilmiah pasti hasilnya kosong-kosong. Dia nggak menang, kita nggak menang.
Iya, ego masing-masing.
Bukan ego masing-masing. Jadi gini, kalau penelitian metode ilmiah itu harus memenuhi dua hal. Jadi gini, kalau aku mau membuktikan sesuatu nih, kalau prosesnya pembuktian kan semua penelitiannya pembuktian ya.
Yeah.
Kalau metode pembuktian itu berarti harus gini. Kalau aku benar, aku harus kasih tahu alasannya.
Oke.
Kalau aku nggak benar, aku harus kasih tahu alasannya.
Iya.
Oke, berarti gini. Kalau metode ilmiah nggak ada foto di zaman itu,
Iya.
antum nyimpen.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified.
Oh, you devious splinter!
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Consider an alternative.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A prize!
Times out, but they managed to catch IFY around this mid area.
And for LGD overall, right, they're the ones setting tempo, so this just means Lone Druid is completely free, which is usually not something you want to see.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is falling.
I'm so goddamn proud of you, I can punch a wall right now. Your time and place has come and gone.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Behold! Silence! Greetings!
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen. Dire are scanning. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Agents of the Void.
Radiant's
the
top tower
most
is
damage
under
that goes
attack.
straight through it, right? So Lone Druid, pretty much.
Yeah, outside of that, he's having a BKB and run away.
Sure. If Thompson can't close on top of him as well, too. All right. Game has changed, though. The Axe is now done for Yuma at a pretty fast timing.
Silence.
Because that's the thing as well, he is going to get BKB off every fight. There's no instant cast, right? It's more Bushwhack and a Remnant. Neither of those, you know, they're both relatively telegraphed. You're going to be able to pop BKB.
Yeah, until the bear has Shadow Blade, and then he's doing the thing where he gets you behind the Savage Roar, blah, 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 right? But that's still some time until he has to worry about that. He should be able to get the protection. Low kill score game, but a lot of little tricky moves that both teams are working around here.
Radiant's
Vessel,
middle tower
also
is
for
under
Why
attack.
now really like this game versus the
Radiant's
load
middle
and versus
tower
the
is
timber
fallen.
versus the soul rip that we see. Yeah, dying going for the max.
The moves here are, you know, just sort of bringing Arme now
Dire
over to
are scanning.
LGD's side of the map. They know that it's time to get Arme involved.
Whisper.
The coil.
A lot of damage.
Three of them is slowly adding up, and yeah, Whisper's gone. Same time Arme's in the door. Leaves the overgrowth into the light strike rate to lock down the bear. Get that extra bit of money coming in for Arme.
Big money. LGD starting to hemorrhage some big kills. XG start to get crazy momentum and set up, right? They're set up for the Tormentor. They look to go for that here.
Yeah, all really started to fall back in their favor after they made that play to keep Arme safe. He gets this BKB timing straight away, takes the tier 1 mid, and making aggressive moves in mid lane, whilst they're also making that play down bottom. Things starting to really come together now for XG.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Thompson. Might get caught on here. That was quite off there from Ame. I mean, it happens.
Got hit them all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
LGD setting up. They do have Undying, so they can be They can contest this, it looks like. They're trying to make their way over. It's not
At least the temptation's there to be for nothing to say to jump in. This fight is no longer theirs. Will BKB TP away? They don't stop the Roche, but they do get 2 kills. Can nothing to say get out? He can't. They do end up losing the puck on top of that. They do immediately take the Aegis away from Thompson.
I mean, it's pretty good, right? They got 2 kills, they got the Aegis, they're going to slow down the momentum that LGD might have gained if they didn't make that move, so I like it. BKB used from Ame, able to fight, get a couple kills, pickups too, so why not?
I'm making the correct call there to leave the fight. Oh, knows and over says welcome, knows to get out of there during those remaining seconds of the BKB.
Yeah, if he stayed any longer, he was definitely going to die there. Good connection. The coil lands on almost everybody. They get a huge pit onto everybody as well, too, in the Firestorm, too. So people were burning down very quickly here. But losing nothing to say. Does hurt a bit, because he is struggling. But it is all about Ame, right? So.
These 2 kill the bear, or not yet.
Don't want to risk it. I don't think they see anything, so I don't want to just go for like a random bear kill and get turned on. But there's no BKB for Ame. What's Thompson going for here? Okay, he's going to go for the BKB. Feels like he needs that. He really does need it, right? When you're playing versus the pit, it's just so much to control you. Now they'll go for it. They walk away.
It's a bit too much at the moment. Need that extra damage arm on Arme before they can really take down the bear consistently.
Might go for it again here.
Yeah, round 2 at half HP would do it, but Huma's playing safe with the bear.
Erasmus finished up for nothing to say. Standard build, not deviating. Rarely do we see these pucks deviate, even if you're versus some annoying stuff. It's always just Blink, Witchblade, Aeon.
I mean, absolutely, as we said, well, this is a pretty dream game for him in the sense that they just don't have it.
Yeah, and he's not going Aghanim's on Void Spirit either, too, right? So, won't have the extra silence to be able to bring it down. Oh, yeah, that's a couple times.
Money
Yeah, we'll see if it goes through after the BKB. I imagine that is likely, or do you think there's other items at that point you're considering then?
Probably other ones he's considering with the way that he's on. Or
bigger?
yeah, I think
Go straight for a Hex or an Octarine player on the cooldowns.
depends on how he wants to play for like the right clicks, right? Does he want to? I've seen some people go like these Witch Blades and all that. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I prefer the Octarines. Very close game though, 11-12.
It really is. I mean,
Exactly what to
Radiant's
say for
top
these two
tower
teams.
is
that
under
sort of-
attack.
difference though where XG's side
Radiant's
is
top
resting
tower
pretty
has
heavily on
fallen.
Arme's shoulders.
It is.
Still XXS and nothing to say. Pretty far behind on
Dire's
farm.
bottom tower is under attack.
They've just got that bit of an edge overall if they have the team, like the 5 heroes as team fight. When you look at XG's, their team fight just a bit. Maybe ideally want to get capped beforehand.
This time they'll get the bear.
Not a resummon. Getting quite a bit of gold though for Ame.
Dire's bottom tower
BKB
is
done
under
is
attack.
Thompson now has a lot more liberty to pick and choose his targets inside of these team fights as well. He's only died the once.
And that was just off that pretty aggressive dive that he tried from the tier 1
Radiant's
where
top tower
happened
is
in a
under
moment
attack.
where there was no real way for the team
Dire's
to
bottom
connect to him.
tower has fallen.
It was of course that moment where the team did kill Arme. So
It's true.
Yeah, that one that Thompson had allowed them to get the one kill against Arme.
Army time. Why?
Dire's bottom tower
I
is
mean,
under attack.
He's got the extra 2 supports.
Shit. Okay.
My goodness.
What else?
Child prep white.
That was so dangerous. I guess they had a good read of where LGD was, but yeah, that's pretty crazy to do with 3 heroes.
Slowed down a little bit from LG, right? They didn't get the they got the Roshan and the Aegis, but they didn't get to do anything with it because they lost the Aegis immediately. So I think XG is realizing that LGD themselves have also slowed down just to try and get that next step of items online.
And maybe he is anticipating like a Hex or something to come out from the Void Spirit, like you were saying. I saw the Lincolns queued up from Nothing to Say, so maybe he's thinking similar vein as us. Like, oh, he's just switching like crazy. Okay, he's just showed like 4 different items, but
Yeah, Thompson queuing up the Axe.
he's gonna go.
He's, as you said, there's a lot of merits to the Axe this game. They need that sort of
Radiant are
silence to
scanning.
be disruptive against the puck.
I like it versus supports too. To be honest, right? The Rubik and the Tree could be tripped up a lot from it.
And it's a Shadow Blade done for Yuma, so getting closer and closer to being able to make these sneaky, aggressive plays with the bat.
They are kept under vision here, though. Nice work there from XG. Scouting quite a lot of LGD's movements. Okay, it's taken away. Gem now picked up. LGD. I think this is getting to these timings where LGD wants to probably do a bit more. They're still very
Radiant's
strong,
middle
sure, and they're
tower
saying
is under attack.
XG's team fight is strong, but they can just like wrap around with the bear and get all this extra information and maybe just snipe a hero.
Arme's pretty massive. If you can get the Satanic Daedalus done, you know, this will be the leaner of that you've got to be fearful of. And one of the reasons why we see Lena be quite a hot pick right now.
Fast he kills the bear too. He did get the serrated ship, so very fortunate. It's a lot of extra damage versus the bear.
Aghanims very close to being done for Thompson. So he can go for the point booster and he'll have it.
I didn't think that this would get this type of series. I thought this game was going to be a bit more action-packed, I'll be honest. I was pretty content with just playing that farm game.
Keeping it very close. LGD with that little bit of an advantage overall.
Thompson.
They get found, they've got BKB of course.
Just got to watch out for X-Nova.
TP out ain't gonna cut it even with the BKB when X-Nova's around.
on Nether.
I was a bit surprised that he goes for it like that. They're rather like dissimulating, making them force a little bit more. Just does get caught. That's a painful death.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Flexibility.
And they hunt for more. You know, you have a coil. Whisper so very difficult to bring down, especially if the Lena's not there. Okay, boy. So, back to farming.
Arme did pick up the Reaver, but wants to get the small crit online first before finishing off the full set. No, he's getting set.
It is panic. No.
And the broad swords, the Claymores mix up.
Yep. Very safe build. Yep. But you already do so much damage anyway, right? So it ends up being fine even if he doesn't have the crit.
I mean,
We'll see if it matters though.
Satanic and BKB, you are incredibly tanky.
Yeah, look at the hero damage, right? It's pretty interesting to see.
There it is. So 30-minute timing. Looking very good on the lean. Of course, throughout this, Whisper's keeping up on this Timbersaw.
He is.
He
And the
has
Lone Druid.
been incredibly fun the entire time.
That is the difference, right? They do have these two
They got the two
very
of
big
them.
cores.
It's going to be a lot for Arme to deal with.
XXS though, also keeping up at least with levels, right? He's gonna have his Shiva pretty soon. He's got his BKB to counter the Timber as we were mentioning from earlier. Probably gonna come soon. Probably the point of contention that we're gonna see both teams really clash.
We're prepared for if there was going to be a move towards Arme, but nothing of the sorts right now. LGD continue to not make any over-aggressive plays.
Tough. Trying to poke something here, but it is Whisper, so not able to fully commit for him. So something interesting too, like you were mentioning before, for the side LGD, they don't have the craziest amount of stuns and lockdowns, right? So the BKB, it's essentially going to give him this like 3 lives. It's not like there's control after he pops the BKB. He'll just be able to hit targets and heal back up.
And definitely one of those situations where until the bear is, they're fully confident that the bear can take down through it. If you see that BKB popped on Arme, you're probably looking to just kite it out and not get involved in the fight.
LGD just farming so hard though. Now they've got extra timing. BKB's done to the bear. Okay, now they want to force an issue.
All right, here we go.
All right, here we go. Axe done for the Void Spirit too.
Ready for the full 5-man team fight.
What does Nothing to Say have on the puck right now? Does he have anything to counter the silence? He does not.
He just finished the altering.
He went greed. He did not go A on this. He could get caught because of this.
Arme's up there, but it's pretty deep. And XG seem to be pretty responsive to this, just holding back around the T2. I'm not gonna say they're gonna try and fight back. They're looking to walk the bear, they caught him in the pit. Arme's bringing in the damage, but it's too much. They're gonna bail the bear out, get him into the tombstone. Take him and take him out of the ambit. He's away. Whisper, he's able to clean up a sniper on the T2 tower.
This is the issue with the puck. Sometimes if you don't, you're feeling that, oh, the game state's all cool, so I can go to greed, but not to A on this. Now he dies. Not only does he die, he loses his real big deal.
He had the jab.
He did.
Double damage.
Roshan, they will get to take the rotate the edges and they won't have to be concerned with any chance of XG taking
That is such a monstrous kill that they're able to find like this, and Nothing to Say is going to be feeling it pretty bad because now he has to go back and farm that. He's going to have a lot of time in this game now where he's just at risk of dying. Pretty much just if the Void Spirit shows up with +1.
They need that Daedalus as well on Arme.
Yeah.
Might kill the bear.
Now they're in trouble.
8k lead for LGD.
Double gems as well for LGD so they can control majority of the vision on the map now too to find these jumps. Strict farm from Ame. And look at Tia as well. He's actually very close to having a hex himself for the puck as well, so further and further catch is going to be there for Nothing to Say, who's now caught in the board.
Radiant are
He
scanning.
needs it desperately, but it's a long ways away now.
Holding back the backlines though, forcing everyone to stay off to the side. Tombstone safe comes in from Selby, but gets back out of it. The BKB hot by Arme, he'll stand his ground and take down the back. The rest of LGD though, able to back off.
Aegis gets taken away, a couple BKBs. XG with the next defensive response there. Ame holding on to the BKB as long as possible. All important for him to be able to fight there. Look at the damage from Ame.
Yeah, he pretty much is all of their late game damage at the moment. Sometimes we do see the pucks do crazy damage late game, but it's going to be a fair bit of time until Nothing to Say is able to get that.
Kind of a crazy play there from LGD as well too, right? Toxic was just kind of running into the tier 2. Not really with the bear getting the flank either, so it was just kind of an awkward goal for them, so XG was very prepared.
I mean, they did get very close to bursting XXS.
They did. That timber
We
burst.
saw how quick this underlord can die, despite how much injury they have.
It's time to be miserable as support though, because this bear is now going to kill all of them on the map. Yeah, that Hex for Theo is going to come pretty quick. So even for Ame too, right? Like, that is DKD, now the Satanic, not as safe either. If he does get caught from an instant stun, he can get burst.
And the follow-ups there, they'll 100% take him down before he's able to get out of the Hex and get the BKB Satanic off.
Because they will have the Rubik potential save, right? But they don't have something hard to save like the Undying, where you get so you're gone.
XXX is struggling with despair.
Ooh, nice try, X-Nova. He's trying to get that bear kill. Now they have Overgrowth on cooldown, but both of these BKBs also used to take advantage of Overgrowth cooldown. It's a big one.
Looking at Ame. Ame posturing pretty far up on the lane, but looks like LGD don't want to take the risk up near the tier 2.
Yeah, now with the bear being on the opposite side of the map at this point. Now they'll smoke, probably rejoin their bear and look for some of these connecting kills. Full Daedalus now for Ame.
He's able to find his position in the fights. Ame will take them down one by one. It's going to be an easy kill. They go for more, they got the coil down onto King Jungles. Ame finds his way around, couple of hits. It's another kill for Ame.
A little out of position there, and that's going to get back the gem to XG. All important.
Now, how much you try and force it here with Ame?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
You don't have that much time. You don't have Overgrowth up, you can use your foil. I don't know how much you can force it.
Get the bear. The bear. It's already out. Ame. Ame with the same Danix there. Nothing to full HP. Nothing to take. Trying to play around with Thompson. Here comes the damage from Ame. They're gonna catch up someone, and Ame will have no struggle killing them right now.
Ame's been struggling in some of this games in this tournament, but this one, he's truly being the carry they needed.
Yeah, this is looking like a real step up in terms of carry performance from Ame compared to what we've seen in some of the other days.
And I mean, this is truly a game of it's saving Private Ame, right? As we saw with the Underlord, with the Rubik, with everything pretty much, it's there to ensure that he can have the best game possible. XXS is close to 25 as well. These are all important moments too, as we said, for the puck too. Got caught earlier, now has probably had the downtime to be able to finish off that enemy pretty soon. So should have the protection as well.
Radiant structures are fortified.
That is just terrible. Oh, these sequences from XG are massive. They will lose nothing to say on the south side, but wow, what a couple moves we've seen from XG just relentlessly running through them there. They'll bring down Whisper. End up losing 2 cores though.
I mean, it's still pretty crazy. Just, I mean, XXS, we barely see him and he's dead.
Power
He killed his Vandalord so quickly with Whisper.
Always been one of the hardest counters. Takes out, well, I mean, it's like 40% of your HP, 1Q. Octarine soon for Thompson. So something interesting I did want to point out, the Daedalus with the Lina, he did take the left talent, and I think if you know how this one works, Daedalus actually bricks this talent. It just doesn't work with the Dragon Slave. You can watch as well too, like, you get your Daedalus crits, but when you Dragon Slave and you start to attack them, you don't get the 150%. I'm not sure why. I'm not sure if they fixed it, but I know as of a few days ago that wasn't working, so.
Either way, he's definitely doing enough.
He is.
To get the damage down on these heroes.
And Whisper, I mean, missing in a tree there too.
A rare miss from him. Would have likely survived if he got out with that initial Timber Chain.
Nice little play from FY too, right? Blinking in, gets a flamethrower, gets on top, finishes him off. This game is very exciting. Yeah, he feels that one.
There on that missed chain.
It's rare to see that from Whisper. As you said, it's his best hero, so. Bots 2, Ame hitting actual critical mass here at this point now.
3% of the Axe Blessing and the Moon Shard, and then he's pretty much done.
trying to watch for the Dragon Slave thing, by the way, just to yeah, right, you don't see the 150 crits, right? Those two hits should have had
Yeah, they didn't have any
criticals.
red numbers on, you're right.
Yeah. I've seen this a couple times, but either way, as you said, he does have enough damage.
Dire are scanning.
Smoked up, looking for another catch in this triangle. They got it. They're catching these supports in the front line.
The gem keeps passing hands between them.
It is. I think this is like 3 or 4 times. Yeah, this Hoodwink and this Undying are just getting caught in the front lines over and over again. It is important for them to survive. They're the controllers. With the Hoodwink,
These two just at this point, right, they die so quickly to the leader.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
good siege.
Radiant's
Two will fall.
middle tower has fallen. Dire's bottom tower is
Look
under
for the bear.
attack.
Trying to BKB to save the bear here.
Behold!
They are hunting this bear pretty good now at this point, though, with how big Ame is. It is not safe.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
How tough is his
Dire's structures are
progression that he's gotten?
fortified.
So yeah, he does have the Aeon Disc now, so should be safe to protect himself versus this Void Spirit in particular. All that downtime that was scary for him ends up being okay because they win a couple fights to be able to get that. Looking at the Tricore, right? That Tricore of LGD is still keeping themselves in a pretty good position in comparison, right? 9,000 ahead from Whisper in comparison to XXS. Like I said, Ame, he has his work cut out for him still. But XG with a good supporting cast around him and
Double damage.
damn damage.
That's gonna be a lot of damage. They get the Hex. It's an the bear, you better try to run. The bear gets out for now. I'm out turn everyone's tombstone. Holy shit! Looking for the Roche, but not quite up yet. Just the Undying to fall, the Rifts get out.
XG is just some of these moves that they're making with the smokes. It seems to be catching LGD off guard, right?
Dire's
Always
bottom
finding
tower
these
is
supports in
under
the front
attack.
line again and again. Roche doing it. They need to call it how it wants to.
Try and see if they can take down Whisper. Quite enough there, but they do have chase potential in a second with the running. Whisper will just let it take
Attack.
No BKB though, and that could be around the Roche fight that he's not
Dire's
going to have
top tower
BKB
has
available.
fallen.
XG might just be able to go
Dire's
for it when it
bottom tower
spawns
is
immediately
under
because
attack.
of no BKB on the Timber.
Dire's bottom tower
Towers are
has
starting to fall
fallen.
though. The bear starting to bear things. Opening up. They always do have the Underlord though, which is nice, and then you can not worry so much about the split push. Okay, Roche is up. Are they just gonna go straight for it? I imagine so. With no BKB on Timber, XG can force this.
Tower
Fast.
scanning. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Roshan has fallen to the Dire. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Able to put a stop to it there, LGD.
Heads up moves.
Thompson's looking for some sort of wraparound to see if he finds one alone. Already has been made. The bear's up on a wall, nothing to say. Thompson jumping in, has the rapid control on Alane, but cannot get it. Up with the BKB's popped on the bear. They were trying to get the bear out there, but cannot escape Rame's reach.
This bear needs some armor or something. It's dying so fast to Abe.
BKB, the reactive armor at the ready.
Abe's got more than enough protection. Aegis, Satanic Cheese has everything at the ready here.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Even though we've seen LGD having the gold lead for a majority, this is actually XG kind of taking over most of these fights in every scenario. That gold lead, of course, at this point becoming pretty irrelevant. Just this small amount. Whisper also got to go for a Hex. They do want multiple ways to control this Lina.
They do. They need more because even with what they have at the moment, some way in every one of these plays, we're never really seeing any of them actually be able to find a way on top of Lina.
No.
And Ame's getting the answer. to stand his ground and get insane amounts of damage out without any interruption.
How's Yuma's next item looking? He's still continuing to be very big, and he can scale maybe a bit harder than the Lina with how many items he can pick up on this bear.
Scanning.
The Daedalus is going to unlock quite a bit more potential for him, but we are seeing these Aeon Discs even protect the supports for a moment. That will actually allow him to probably just kill off the Underlord solo with the Daedalus.
Around here. Very close to the 25 and the Shivas.
Themselves, again, just consistently with that gold lead.
I mean,
in that farm.
they do have that gold lead, but it feels like it's been a while since we sort of convincingly win a trade.
And actually, it feels like it's been a while since we've seen LGD BS5, right? It feels like it's always XG as 5 running in, and LGD kind of frantically coming one by one to put things together.
I'm going to try and force things a bit more aggressively now. There's nothing to say. They just can't.
Every single time.
They can get the jump, but they can't stop him pressing the Satanic. They're not going to be keeping in that case. He didn't need it. Still in the backpack. Still has that HP for 2 minutes. So just the Satanic alone, he gets that off. He's going to stay at full HP.
So maybe for LGD, what they're going to do is wait 2 minutes, wait till they have the hex, and then they're going to go for this like multiple hexes and just try to blow up Ame through it. Because yeah, so far, able to answer it. Illusion Bear. Bye. Level started to get crazy high too, level 27 on XXS.
As many hexes as they can get here, LGD. To kill Ame. They should have a solid shot of winning these fights, but as we've seen the last few times, they cannot stop this Lina.
It really is all about Ame though, right? If Ame dies, the fight is completely collapsing to the side of XG, so. This is the build that we're seeing from these Underlords every time, right? Now he's got the Ghost Scepter too, so the pair can't go for these solo kills onto him either. No fire.
This is the thing as well, right? Ame's 11, 2, and 4, but effectively the kills are much higher than that.
Dyer's
How many
middle
times
tower
he's
is
killed
under
them?
attack.
One time.
This time round, they kill anybody at this point, XG.
Again and again, right? It's LGD all split up all over the place. XG as a unit ganking every single time here. I really like the way that they've responded to LGD.
They very much gone past that sort of period of the game where the units of these heroes may have been too much. Arme has to do the one way to get the kills.
At the period of the game where nothing to say was at risk because he went for the greedy build. Right now he's got Aeon Disc. It's very difficult to bring him down pretty much at any of these times.
It's just more and more lockdown is needed. Now Whisper, I think, was closing in on that.
Yes. Okay, now that Aegis is gone, let's see what they want to do. Next 60 seconds.
Top tower is under
Or after
attack.
60 seconds when Whisper respawns to find that hex.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Tier 2 taken.
They're starting to get some push going. They have time with the Timber then. On the flip side,
We'll survive back or see what reaction LGD
Radiant's
come in with
middle
the four of
tower
them.
is under attack.
they're starting to push
Dyer's
though.
middle tower is under
Free
attack.
courier.
Dyer's structures are
Fortification.
fortified.
Arme's going to stick on the offensive.
Radiant's
And
middle
Fine
tower
XX trying to
is
kill the
fallen.
bear. Attempt for a jump onto Arme, but it won't stop him. The Hex.
Radiant's
Not going
structures
anywhere.
are fortified.
Qualification will not stop. XG. Arme. A few more hits and we'll be able to finish up the full set of racks. They'll make another attempt to jump onto him. Catching the bear. He's actually going to die for that. Oh, never mind. They keep the racks alive. That's Arme dead.
Oh god, that's a pretty massive one.
They got a bit too comfortable there, Arme.
That is 90 seconds.
That's a big and they didn't get the racks. They on as little as
Oh my
HP as
God.
it has, but it's still there. He couldn't quite finish it, and he's dead.
And now his team is a bit vulnerable on the map. LGD, how much do they want to push forward to go for that Rax themselves now too, because the glyph was used. I think that's like one of the first mistakes we've seen from Ame in this game. Playing it pretty clean, but they're just sticking it a little too hard. Now the Hex there, it is finished for Whisper. They do have multiple different ways to control.
It's a rough one.
That was.
I mean, we've all been in that. When you show the Rax is only a couple hits away, you're like, you kind of just block everything else out. You're like, I'm hitting this Rax, I'm gonna finish it. Doesn't always work out here.
The damage also just comes quick, right, with the build that he was on for. Sure, he doesn't have a nullifier, but with this Swift Blink and his Daedalus, he pops targets pretty fast.
Dire's top tower is under
30 seconds on Ame.
He does not want to press that buyback button. They're gonna do their best to try and force it. Tier 3 average because of the Hex all went wide.
Nicely done there from Whisper, keeps it out long enough to pop the AR disc of FY. Now he is at risk.
At the least, they don't have to use these
Dire's
buybacks. They
bottom
will
tower
just
is under
lose
attack.
the tier 3 in the mid, so
A 9,000 gold game from LGD, right? It went from 10k to 1k to 10
there.
So they did get quite a lot.
Definitely not going to want to do that again.
No. Ame ideally wants to play with Aegis, I would say.
And with the, I guess if you're going to go for that push, just with more of the team with him.
Sure, he didn't have everybody.
A lot of money on Thompson. We'll see what he commits for.
They all have merciful items that like to do something. Aeon gets popped. That's 2 Aeons now on cooldown for the side of XG. The next minute or so. And that could be around the Roche again. That respawn is coming pretty quickly here. Oh, that's silly.
Illusion.
Poor supports can't even win healing.
Yeah, you're not competing with him. It's at the top of his class at healing. This carry.
That's actually mean. He's got Refresher now too, so more bears at the ready here for Yuma. And that Roche is up. Not super easy for XG to get out there either. LGD can start to poke it here. They're gonna smoke.
Radiant are
They know that they're
scanning.
probably looking to set up for that Roche. The scan does connect. Ame on the front line.
Extra hexes.
Yes. And Ame playing it very aggressively forward here. Finish it. Bear swinging across the map.
Neither team wanting to go into the pit until they found a fight.
Why still 20-second cooldown on that Aeon disc.
Is in pretty good position to start getting the damage out of Whisper. All back off now. The lead's in, they get the hex control over the
Is another bear coming?
Is there any more damage? Finish him off. They use the 2 buybacks there. XG with the support to come in and keep Ame safe, but Ame survives.
Literally just standing his ground, killing the bears. Do they have another one, or did he actually use the refresher there for that?
I think that was
I think
the
that was the
refresher
refresher, right?
bear. It
So
was.
no bear for the defense here.
For a long time, 90 seconds until the bears back up.
Nice fight there. I can't believe how long they end up surviving on some of these supports in particular as well. So we protect Ame. We're also with a couple chains that don't connect on top.
Dire are
Every
scanning.
time, pretty close that they first time round, they couldn't quite lock it down on the top again. I think Kenny said, can they go?
Never
But
go
the
out.
control came out. Ame still had the hurricane pipe ready to push himself away from it. Take out that bear a second time in the fight. Come out on top, get that Roshan secured and pick up the Aegis.
All little things coming into play, right? This one I think was like a refresher overgrowth perhaps that ends up catching and just slowing down a little bit of this extra attack speed to catch
Radiant's
onto
middle
him.
barracks
Now
are
Ame
under
got
attack.
again.
Back to what he was looking
Radiant
for earlier.
structures
And
are
he's got an
fortified.
Aegis now to play.
Another fortification.
Much safer.
This time,
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
should be able to get
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Sector still tops themselves until someone use the
Radiant's top
buyback.
barracks are
In
under
2
attack.
cents.
The Hex to slow things down a little bit.
Another hex.
Gets out there, they've got him. And then he's gone for nearly 2 minutes without buyback.
So far forward on the hoodwink.
That's rough. You know, he's one of the Hex carriers. He's super important. He's gone.
That is the wrong depth from Dio. I can get what he's trying to do, right? With these hexes and slowing down Ahmed, but he puts himself in such a vulnerable spot. Ahmed standing his ground.
Ready to move on to the tier 4s.
4v5 or 4v6 essentially. One bear.
Pressure back over 10 seconds. Should be able to get second round. Give up nothing to say. Here's the second round. That's what destroying them. They'll be walking at the buyback on both boards.
He looks too scared to send his Baron too. He knows it's his last
This is
one.
the last one. Also back where they can fight. Still 40 seconds without the other goal. And still in his ages of armor. And still gonna put the BKB trying to get it away from Arme. Will manage to save it.
This bear can't do what it wants to do. It can't go for all day by any means. He has too much supporting hands with him. Damage from him too.
He's got 20 seconds into the full line. This is going to jump on. It looks like one everyone's having a win. Still has to take down the low ground. Top of the BKB. Will jump out before his BKB comes to an end and stay safe. We're still trying to take their attention away from the bringing in the right things. That's going to be the bear gone. 56 seconds. They're going to see the next bear.
Ahmed can go for the siege here. Still 2 minutes on Aegis.
And they do it without the bear. And they push Arme back somehow. Six comes in into the sharpshooter. X into the BKB's out of X. It's going to be fine for now. The bushwhack, but no tree to connect to. What's coming? Picks up on the way over for Arme, ready to fill the slots up after the Aegis expires. Still a minute and a half left with it.
Radiant's middle tower
To
is
it,
under attack.
will live with the living armor.
Either way.
Pushes him away from Arme though. So Arme is a little more isolated.
They're just scared of him. Without the bear, they don't have the damage for it.
They're buying time though. The bear's going to come up soon.
Swap the BKB in early, so he'll have it immediately as it comes up.
Is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
This game, 15, 3, and 10. Obviously, with the supporting cast.
You take those into account, it's probably getting close to the 30s.
That was pretty impressive stuff. Just being able to stand his ground multiple times, being confident in how he actually uses the BKB, uses that satanic. He died the once going for the high ground.
И даже без без блэкхолов иногда игры выигрываются. На Войте без хроносферы игры не выигрываются, к сожалению. И это не тот какой-то однокнопочный райт-кликер, где ты просто пошел и затыкался, как Фантом Ассасин условно. Нет, здесь надо поставить. Это важная, ответственная кнопка. И он, к сожалению, не доигрывает немножко. Ну, либо его так заставляют играть, что хочется как-то приезжать за Атак Смита, Факли, Гастул, Атак Смита, нет, не хватит, и контроль его держит, вот он его срывается, вот из контроля не выходит, все-таки вышел чудом каким-то, у него будет ситуация 5-3, 5-3 это выиграть, надо умирать,
Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
нет, будет, уже мега 3, так, сверху, да, не ставит нас, задевает, по-моему, очень везет еще и страдает здесь да. На этом игра заканчивается, и Falcons выигрывает первую карту вопреки в какой-то степени, но с другой стороны подтверждает статус фаворита. На бумаге мы, естественно, увидим результаты, скажем, так и должно быть, но по факту это была безумно сложная карта.
Интересная карта. Мне кажется, фальконы, они вот...
thought he did pretty well on the Void
did,
Spirit.
yeah.
So I like keeping that, and then maybe try a different opener. Give them something else. Don't give them Treant, which we said fits really well in their archetype of drafts.
Yeah, so because to dominate and take over the game, or is that not where he's?
The problem with their draft, I think, is also they have only 2 stuns. They have the Hoodwink Bushwhack, and then they have the Void Spirit. So then it's a lot of pressure on these 2 heroes to find the pickoffs on the map. Because you have the bear running around pushing waves, but then these 2 need to be really on point to get the pickoffs. And I think throughout the game, they didn't really manage to get that many important kills. And then it becomes really...
It's not a very popular here in the meta,
not, yeah.
and we can see why. I think he's a little underwhelming. He had so much more net worth than the puck
was
the entire
huge,
game, but it didn't feel like it.
Yeah.
That's not Thompson's fault. It's literally the hero is just a little weaker compared to the other meta heroes, I think.
To be fair, it's a little bullshit playing into Lina with 80% magic. Sudden Thompson's like, well, I have plus like 50% spell amp and like 2,000 magic damage burst, but that's going to be about 200 against
Yeah.
Lina.
And just think about it. His job in the fights was to find the Rubik, and he did assassinate him some of the fights. Like the Lone Druid and the Void Spirit were chasing this Rubik like crazy, and I think that is a good hero for that. Maybe he should have went this more like right-clicking build where you go like Daedalus, Manta. I don't know. I don't see this hero very often, but this could have been the game for the physical damage Void Spirit.
Yeah, that's honestly not a bad call against all the magic resist.
And Manta against Treant is
Yeah.
the best item you can get in the game.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I guess one argument there is like maybe he didn't think the game was going to go this late, because you get to this like 60-minute mark and you're like, God damn, I wish I had a Manta style and a Daedalus on my Void Spirit.
Which is a big mistake, because as we've learned, this TI is only long games.
Yes. Yes.
So you're saying we should just buy Midas?
Well, maybe. But I feel like it's, I don't know. Maybe it's like the pressure and the nerfs, or maybe it's just teams being really good, so it's never easy to end the game. But I do feel like this TI meta always kind of evolves into, okay, who can pick a better late game and then like not get too destroyed in the early.
Do you guys remember, was it the last TI that every support was getting Midas? It started with Ancient Apparition.
That was not last
No, that was not TI. I think Midas has not been that popular for a very long time.
It was the last few years. I mean, Midas is just not happening. That item is really bad.
Unless it's on Ogre.
I agree with that.
It
As
makes
an
sense.
Ogre player, that item actually makes sense. You get the multicast, so it's actually real good value, and you get items. Then you buy Hex, you can triple Hex, you can multicast that. It's great.
So where in that build is the Glimmer and the Wards?
Well,
What a core question to ask, Saber. Come on. The +4 will buy it.
Oh, right.
No, I actually, when you do play Ogre, I used to just buy one team item, because you want one item for like the first initial fights of like 15-20 minutes where you're fighting some small objectives. Then you buy the Midas, and then they're not as upset at you. Just letting you know.
Yeah, so you can trick your team into thinking you're supporting. But then in reality,
They'll look at your inventory at the start of the game. It's like, oh, it's the first stuff. That's nice.
Yeah, it's all a master plan just to buy the Midas, and they cannot report you after. It's great.
With these games going as long as they are, though, I mean, we are seeing more supports being more aware that their inventory will fill up eventually, right? They have to pick and choose a little bit more carefully and maybe go for bigger items. I like that. It's fun to watch as a viewer perspective, because that also means that the team fights will be more explosive potentially. Very curious to see how explosive the upcoming game is. So we are heading to Game 2. LGD and Extreme Gaming are both 1 and 2 right now in this group stage, and we are going to see which one of these two teams will be at a 2 and 2 and which one will be at a 1 and 3 for their series later on today. As we are in the draft, we got Extreme Gaming on the Dire side, LGD on the Radiant side, so that is similar, and the pick order also similar. Extreme Gaming gets the overall first pick, and so far, Winter Wyvern once again banned. They went for that last game as well, just like the Earth Spirit. Keep in mind, Extreme Gaming, their third ban, previous game, was the Invoker. They can choose to leave that in or still ban out the Lone Druid, or whichever one is, of course, being left in the pool. And the Sand King and the Ember were also two bans that were similar. The only one that we were critical of, we saw LGD ban out the Huskar in the first phase, previous game. Same bans for Extreme here, by the way. We'll see if they still ban out the Huskar. They will have to change it up because they ban both out. That's cool. That means that the Drow Ranger and Huskar are in.
Okay, Fly is happy. No more Huskar ban.
Yeah, I think that was, the soup was not right for that one of the salt. So let's see if this time they're going to actually take the Drow Ranger, which I think would be really fun. I would like to see it. I think the time Extreme picked it, they did not first pick it. Yeah, they actually went for a similar draft where they first picked the Mirana, and then the Drow came in a second phase.
Really good with Mirana, such as Falcons. They're really good at like drafting around it as well. They'll have multiple stuns in the different lanes they can set up for it. If it does rotate, like they'll run some, ST plus Mirana and then like Tiny on Skeeter, something like that. And I do feel like some of these other teams are just kind of whipping out the Mirana rather than like drafting around it too much.
It is true. You do need stuns to set up for the arrow, and then the hero becomes properly powerful.
Yeah, I think the first picks of the draft are usually like the building blocks. So you get a Mirana, you get a Treant Protector, you're going to build around that. The Treant, you're going to get this range archetype hero. As a carry, you're going to build around that. Mirana, you're going to get setup stuns. Could be an Ember Spirit mid, for example. I know it's banned this game, but some hero like that where it sets up for the arrow, Shadow Demon, etc. You're going to build around it. Centaur, generically a strong hero. I think it is pretty flexible in what it can do. It scales really well into the game. You have great item builds. You can play with a lot of different carries. They do give Ame a counter pick now, so I'm curious to see what they're going to leave in the pool, because I think Ame does have a lot of good heroes against Centaur.
Is it Ame though? Because the originator of the Centaur mid was Thompson. People copied this. They copied this from his stream. It made its way into pro level pubs, and then this is when you had the Malloreens and other people experimenting with it. So I could absolutely see LGD flexing this to potentially be mid.
3 out of the 4 games live right now went for, in the first phase, pick Centaur. It's just interesting to note that. This hero, yesterday, I thought this was cause for maybe moving this hero's priority up to the ban list, because he looked unstoppable, unkillable at a certain, especially if games go late. You want a Centaur, because he's gonna be at some point turning into this monster that's literally more than a raid boss.
He's unkillable, and then he gets an Aghanim Scepter, and then he makes the hyper carry, whatever it is, SF Lina unkillable. So yeah, it's very good. Basically, heart is a broken item, and this is the best hero in the game to have a heart.
Yeah, I would say like the best thing about Centaur is that he just scales super well, and sometimes you have a problem. Like usually people go the build of like Helm into Heart, and it's very greedy. You're like farming for, let's say, 25 minutes before you really join the game. But if these games are going late, and the Centaurs have the opportunity to just farm and farm, they will eventually get super fed, and you're not killing them. So perhaps that's why it's becoming way more popular and feels really strong in every single game.
I think they're gonna. So we see the Altered Titan come out, which I think it's a cool combo with Mirana, because you get a stomp in the team fight, you get a arrow follow up. It's very it's a solid combo. Slardar, I guess they just like it as an answer to Centaur, because Centaur usually doesn't buy armor items. He buys, for example, the heart. He buys the Helmet of Dami. He will probably need to buy Lotus this game. So now Yuma kind of has to pick his hero against Slardar, because they want to hide the Centaur, like Jenkins was saying. I didn't realize he plays at mid, but it makes perfect sense. They picked the Wind Ranger, which can also go mid, as we saw Thompson play it. So this is like a good calf's situation here where he has these flexible heroes. Actually, Wind can also play as a support. I think Theolicor also plays
He does.
So this is like...
Some assembly required. I've a mind like a steel trap, and the physique to go with it. Spring my trap.
Prepare for battle.
Closing in. I'm well oiled. Uh-huh.
My current flows.
Uh-huh. Gear up. This'll gum your gears.
Agreed.
Rattle and roll. Cozy in here, isn't it? Yes.
Quick as lightning.
In gear. Spring forward.
I go.
Aha! Yeah. In gear. Coming in. Aha.
The time has come.
Ho! The trap is sprung. Players here.
Of course.
I run like a clock. Gear up. Up close and arsenal.
But then,
doesn't seem excited about it.
but I know that people pick Centaur as an answer to Puck, so maybe some lane shenanigans can happen there.
I think it's hard to answer every single thing. As long as your draft makes sense from this point on, I think it's good enough for Extreme to have
That's
a shot
fair.
at winning this. So whether it's the Puck, maybe there's something, if they want to get really creative, maybe there's like a Brewmaster angle, not the best against Centaur, but it will also be like some pseudo initiation that is good against like a Lina in the early game. Otherwise, I like the Puck idea. I think there's nothing wrong with that one.
Yeah, I think drafting against Cuffs, it's kind of hard to not get out drafted with this last pick, considering how many flexes they have. But it doesn't necessarily mean that if you get like out drafted / outcooked by Cuffs, that the game will be hard for you. Because I think as long as Extreme can pick their own cohesive draft that makes sense, it doesn't really matter that the enemies are like flexing 3 different heroes. Like, you know, they have the last pick, they will get something. So as long as you make sure that your own heroes make sense, then that's all you need.
And this is exactly how they won the previous game and exactly how they got second place at the previous TI, is just having cohesive drafts that are doing the same thing every time, protecting Ame, setting up for Ame, making his game good, giving him amplification, you know, which they have.
It has been their recipe for success.
Kunkka would have been good. It's a like tanky, beefy boy to run in and initiator as well. Also a hero to set up for Mirana Arrow. Kunkka into X into Arrow is a classic.
Yeah, this one is a bit hard for me to call. Like without really remembering all of the heroes that NTS plays or XXS, but I think it's more likely to be a mid lane hero that they're gonna pick, because I think Slardar offlane will do better.
Magnus.
Wow. Do we think it's mid Magnus? It does. I feel like NTS does play Magnus.
He does. It used to be one of his signatures. I think they can choose now.
Yeah.
I think they can wait themselves and choose where this goes. I think the idea is once it is an initiating type hero, so it's what we were kind of thinking they should do, and it's also a hero that can bring Lina or Wind Ranger or whoever is like a core out of position in the fights, which is always a good thing against these range carries. So I think it's cool. I like their draft. It makes sense together. It's got a very clear path to winning, and I think LGD has some pressure on them with this last pick to really pop off against this extreme lineup.
And to be fair, I think this last pick is very important because LGD they've been salting their soup this entire draft, but now if you oversalt it with this last pick, it becomes a problem.
What about something like a Viper that just like demolishes both of these heroes mid?
Because
what about Monkey King? The Thompson Classic?
Yeah.
Something, I think they need something punishing, because I think if they go toe-to-toe again, like a 5v5, it's going to be really hard for them to beat this
And a
lineup.
Centaur mid is no longer an option for you guys. Never mind, it will be an option, maybe, depending. I mean, there's definitely not going to be Spectre mid, is it? No, it's Lina mid.
Okay, they're going to go with Lina mid. I mean, Lina does very well against melee heroes mid in general. I think Magnus versus Lina it's probably okay for Mag, right? You just shove the lane and go jungle.
It should be Lina favored, but not like some crazy stomp. It should be Lina favored. I mean, Spectre is good against Drow in a nutshell. Like you want heroes again on top of Drow, like gap close, but also the Drow lineups are usually very grouped together. So Spectre will have a harder time finding that opening when she's alone outside of like some early game skirmishes. So he may have oversalted this one.
Ooh.
I think.
You think he oversalted? I think it. Like set up the tempo.
Select your heroes. 10 seconds remaining.
Ooh.
I think.
I think he
5
oversalted.
seconds remaining.
I think it becomes like it's very dependent on how Extreme plays. When the Magnus gets his blink, if he's able to find kills with it and like set up the tempo going, because I feel like once Spectre hits his items, it becomes really hard to overrange your games. You have the Stampede, you have Spectre that's gonna be on top of you. Then it gets a bit scary for Ahmed.
And a hard mag game too. Like I think Spectre is one of the highest win rates on Dota buff, like of all Dota games against Magnus, because you just can never hit a good RP because of Haunt. But Slardar against Spectre and lane should be pretty good for Slardar, right?
Yeah,
I feel like you just run him down.
Yeah, it should be pretty true.
What do we feel about the support duo? Because Wind Ranger and Hootwing Coffin are considered to be heroes that do kind of the same. They also are very elusive, so it will be hard to get potentially kills on them, hiccups on them, because they are just gonna run, you're gonna miss.
That's why I was a bit confused by the Spectre, because I think the heroes don't make that much sense together to me. They all rely on the Centaur, who doesn't even buy Blink until very much later. Like, they want to shoot their spells. They need a stun for it. So LGD has this like ratty game going on where they're going to have to outplay the opponents. And again, Extreme is going to be this grouped up gameplay of like sticking together and going together. So I prefer Extreme to this game.
Okay, let's see who comes out on top from this game number 2. We're heading over to OD Pixel and Funk.
Thank you very much, CBS Game 2 time here, ready to go. And some exciting drops, some different heroes coming into play, coming in with that Magnus as the last pick, and indeed you're going to get to see some ET. What do you sort of think of the two approaches here? Last pick coming in from LGD, going with the Spectre. Solid hero right now, but is this the sort of draft and position to pick it?
You can see why, right? Just gap closer versus the Drow, like Jenkins was alluding to as well. Versus the Magnus, you can give information in a lot of ways, but the lane definitely doesn't look the easiest, right? Versus the Slardar Mirana, it's one of the better ones versus a lot of these melees, so can get punished. Yeah, I don't know. I like the synergy from XG's. I feel like LGD's does look a little bit like not everything being the most synergistic, so we'll have to see how that ends up going in terms of XG played super well last time, and I have seen these Drows. They can deal with Spectres. It was Ame last time on the Spectre versus Yatoro on the Drow Ranger the other day that we saw, and Yatoro was outplaying the hell out of him, honestly. So we'll see if Ame can do a similar thing in this game. Because also, this is going to be a slowed down Spectre again, and that's what happened to Ame the other day, where he was like 0-3 on the Spectre versus this super farm Drow Ranger. It was a full recovery game for him. But we'll have to see how these lanes end up going down as well, because I do have some worries for the Spectre. Yeah, my boy, ET. Hell yeah.
I mean, does he look like a good ET game?
He's one of the better ET players, and it's about, you know, having this secondary combo, sure, with the Mirana, but it's also just this protection and the eventual. Earth Splitter is amazing for Centaur, because nowadays these Centaurs that they always talk about, they go hard. Earth Splitter is a % damage max HP ability, which is actually super good.
And they finish off this.
Heroes.
That's first blood.
They died. Yeah, the core actually kills off the first blood there. So, they'll slowly but surely get Whisper. They didn't get it before. LGD got the first blood themselves with Theolicor and King Jungle's catching Ame out on top.
Two supports. Blast them down.
I think he might be getting baited in a little bit by Theolicor, because he did get Theolicor relatively low, so probably tried to push for the kill, and suddenly a Hoopwing turns up and surprises him.
Yeah, let's see how this mid matchup goes, right? Thompson should have quite a bit of an edge versus Nothing to Say, but Nothing to Say can start to get some recovery points later on, but Thompson's going to have a very good start to get opening into this one.
See how this goes, because I think this could be kind of tough for the Mag. Lina just is a bit of a different beast right now.
Yeah, it's pretty true.
He's constantly kept away from the wave. You'll have a few nukes yourself, but the nukes are just not the same as the Linas.
Double range creep coming in. The first few waves are very important for Nothing to Say against something, because it's going to get harder and harder, of course. Again, that last hit, but infinite harassment. Supports might make early rotations just to help out, right? We might see the Mirana leave the bottom lane a little early just to ensure that they can get the refill to slow down Thompson's harassment onto NTS.
We'll see how it goes. Always wants to see some Mag. There's not a hero really that a lot of teams would consider right now. Always a fun one to watch. And always one that gives you that potential to make the comeback plays even when you're far behind on those base defenses.
I think that's what XG's kind of gone for in this game overall, right? Their late game is terrifying. Pushing into that high ground, into Magnus, ET, all these type of things with the Drow as well. It's going to be difficult for LGD unless they get a good advantage in the mid game to go for any of these high ground pushes. It's just, that's scary. You've got Stampede to bail out, but it's not going to save you every time.
But you set the bottle out and the water in. Getting too far behind on CS, Nothing to Say. We'll see if he is able to try and hold as close as he can to Thompson's Lina in the CS.
Once he's got boots as well, so he can start like dragging a little, right? You can start avoiding the Lina, but until that point, it'll be very difficult for him to get. It looks extra last hits. Yeah, Thompson just literally nuking him, not even nuking the wave.
The nukes are just a little bit too much for the Mag.
Extra denies coming out because of it.
Did you like some of the way that they went with sort of having the Lina in the mid and going for something different with the carry pick?
Whoa, nothing yet
this time.
He has to skewer away. I mean, he tried to go for a play to skewer him under tower perhaps, but yeah, not going to be the case. I think it was just a last second kind of pivot that they went for here. They wanted to have this Slardar in this matchup.
Not for you.
In the lane, I mean, you're not feeling pressure too much on these first levels.
Not at all, actually. I thought it was going to be a little harder in the first few, especially, so very nicely done. On the flip side, though, Ame, same, even though he died at the start. This is a pretty free lane for him. Got ET to back him up always. I'm looking forward to see what X-Nova does, because I've seen more of these ETs than I anticipated. A lot more Clockwork Clockwork's kind of just been disappearing, and people are finding a replacement for it. And yeah, right, the eventual, they do get some good RPs. But eventually, too, that Splinter, that Stomp, very threatening.
It's just going to be a complete free farm for Thompson on the mid lane up.
And they're not even swinging over support as well, too, which has been interesting. Okay, now they are. They bring in the ET, TPing toward the mid lane, but
Yeah, she gonna be able to do much with this.
He cancelled.
Yeah. It's, getting the jump on Thompson as this Lina is looking pretty unlikely.
Yeah. Whisper is gonna just have to start jungling. Here being kept low, get it back up. Now he can come back for the top lane afterwards, but yeah, it's a free farm Spectre and actually a free farm Drow. Pretty important for Yuma.
If it doesn't get pushed too far behind, we'll definitely see the advantage of the Spectre against the Drow for a large portion of the game, really. Yeah. It's only when you get those sort of later on, right, having that Hurricane Pike and the Silver Edge, and ways to sort of react to getting jumped upon by the Spectre that you can start to play back into it.
Starting to wave drag as we see here. But yeah, 18-0 to the 25. Only 7 behind, I guess. That's like not. It's not that.
No, he's playing it well. As I say, I think this is a really hard matchup to play against the Lina. He's not feeding. He's getting what he can. I think honestly he's doing the best you can kind of do in this sort of matchup. It's not a fun one against Lina right now.
Yeah, absolutely. That's why. Don't get caught during the lead.
Nice little bushwhack.
Gonna be just fine.
Be okay.
A lot of damage gonna come into Yuma here because of that.
Radiant
Hey,
structures.
they get the arrow connection though. He's trying to line it up.
If they can sort of do it at a distance where really trying to make the action, but timing's off. It's a tricky one to connect with.
You either have to have the bash primed and you get the stun into the bash into the arrow, or you have to shoot the arrow instant as the stun comes out. So can't actually top that you. It does mean that Yuma is brought half HP. But now has to be a little careful how he steps up in these next few moments because the harassment will add up. They are starting to step up for both sides. Support starting to swing toward the mid lane. So it's going to be the case where, yes, Thompson is free farming, but there's repositioning, so have to be very careful. Steps up in some moments, nothing to say.
That's quite a bit of damage from this. It'll all live, but fully back up over the river. This time around, they do get that one.
It's interesting movements from Yuma, right? He's like, I'm just not going to play the lane in a 1v1 for the Slardar. I'm going to show my support. Snova. He should be able to play himself out of this. Too speedy. What's going to be the build for Nothing to Say? Is it just going to be a Blink Rush is going to be the question? I feel like it might be.
Yeah, definitely. Do you buy for the Blink first, or do you get yourself something like the Equix so you have a chance of getting some farm?
I feel like this might be one of those where he just gets the Blink, and then the Slardar maybe does more of the greedy style. We'll have to see.
Yeah, it might be a bit weird both of the brush.
Yeah. We'll have to see what she wants to do, because the Blink is so good this game, right? Versus the Lina, all you have to do is land it on top of her. Very likely she does just get comboed and burst.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Try this like that. In case no one was around, but there was.
Ops in.
Radiant
He's looking for it. Has Laguna
just out of range. Might get the reach. Say no, nothing to say. Not having a fun time, but at least he's not feeding his life away. He very much knows that when he can't be around, he can't be
Dire's
around.
middle tower is under attack.
Still not a fun start for him, but as I said, not a surprising start. I think he knew this was going to be tough playing into this lane.
He's the sacrifice in this game.
Yeah.
That's what they did with the draft, right? He just has to be the way that they set up the draft with the double melees from the mid and the bottom. And there's that Lina pick. Yuma being kept very low now at this
Get some sort of angle, he's going to be in trouble. Success is going to look to close in as Yuma goes for that free, but again, the combo's not really been lined up with the two. Looks like they will jump forward and have the use of the star they do.
Did he hit a creep with it actually? It looks like he might have maybe, but just kidding.
He might have
I think he did actually hit it behind him.
Efficiency from F5, yeah, he's like, I don't need to hit it, I'm going to follow the creep and still get the kill.
Alright, let's see what help comes toward this mid lane. They're starting to put more and more attention on it. LGD, they want to take out this tower early. Literally, this is space to farm.
Dire's middle tower is under
Reactions
attack.
coming in. Yuma swinging over. They really want to get this early tower.
They're on track to do so.
Yeah.
39 minutes here. Getting a lot of damage
Dire's
onto the tier
middle
1
tower
mid.
He's got
is
the
under
regen, so he
attack.
can just tank it.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Wait for them to slow it down. They don't have, honestly, on the side of XG, their D push is pretty lackluster.
Support into
Dire's middle
Shockwave.
tower.
Like using like Fade Bolts, like some other Hoodwink spells. It's not really anything. ET is not one of those D pushers.
This time,
Okay.
so go back up, so we'll be okay. It's going to be a rough road for nothing to say. He is going to go for that blink straight up first naked, but
I felt like he has
take
to.
time to get there.
So, he's just going to be pretty much the full stack. He's literally going to be the offlaner from the mid lane, and XX is going to be the mid laner from the off.
I mean, maybe that's one of those things you do at the moment in this patch against Lina. You know, you have a tough time in the lane, so just pick something that's going to survive through the lane and have strengths elsewhere. Because that seems to be the way that the angle that they're sort of taking. Thompson getting a 3 stars.
Rotation from the supports. Can they finish him off though?
They can't. The sleep comes in.
The experience.
Someone's going to try and fight back. Not quite strong enough to do that yet, and might actually pay for his life.
It looks so nice when you have all that damage.
It's like, yeah, trying to punch him. But then Yorubi just level 4 support at the moment, and ET is not really afloat.
No, sadly he has been in it. A lot of fun. This time.
Yeah, this time they'll get him. He's done a good job evading death, but finally it comes for him.
He could become a support in this game pretty quickly.
I mean, it's especially when you're doing the support, you just try and scramble towards the naked blink. You're not going to get any crazy farm anytime soon. And when that blink's there, you've got to hope that you're making plays, because if the plays don't come, you are going to be just eternally left behind on the farm.
He does need to find a little more. He needs some more help. They did try to bring the help to him, but now at this point it's looking really rough for him. Whisper going to be pretty massive. You just use this Helmet Dominator creep to get all that he wants on the map. He can't go for him.
Every coin
And not really
helps.
the best things to rally around now at this point for XG. They're going to have to just rely on the Slaughter in the early game to make all that space until the Magnus does have that Blink Dagger, it feels like.
Yeah, I mean, that's sort of the best thing that they have going for them right now, is that they did slow down Yuma a little bit, but it's just a question if that was even as much as they would have hoped to with their lane setup.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
LGD taking towers here. 11
Radiant
minutes in.
structures are
They're going to
fortified.
take another tier 1 and they're getting away
Dire's
with
top
it.
tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's top tower has fallen.
Look at the trade. On the other side.
I mean, he's playing versus
bottom
pretty fragile
tower
heroes,
has
so
fallen.
it's still super valuable. It's actually a very squishy lineup when you look at it from the side of LGD till the later stages. Yeah. Sure, Centaur is tanky, but he doesn't really build armor. Not any of these really build armor. Yeah, Spectre sure innately is tanky because of it, but that's going to be pretty strong this corrosive phase early on.
They have to make stuff happen with this blink. They do go all in on this blink purchase first up on the Magnus and the Slardar. The plays don't start rolling in, or if you start jumping in and dying,
Very
things
dangerous.
fall apart super quickly to the point where it might just be too much for Arme to carry alone as the Drow.
Yeah, even though the Spectre is down, shut down, right? That Lina is that other carry. Pretty hardcore from the mid lane.
And Thompson is having quite the game. Yeah. The fact that he had a pretty completely free lane.
And he's even going the greed build. He's going the Kaya in between. We're going for this act.
Box axe, yeah.
He's going to be very dangerous. And overall for the Drow, I was talking about this during the draft. The Drow is very squishy, and there's a lot of burst damage on the side of RPD. So Ame can just get popped in a lot of these fights just from honestly, a Laguna plus a sharpshooter even, and like a random power shot in the early game. Alright, nothing to say. The blink, it's gonna be coming out.
Alright.
All he really needs to do is catch one big kill.
Oh yeah, if you get out with this smoke blink reveal, jump the Lina with the RP, get the kill, things can be rectified very, very quickly after a rough laning phase.
Good awareness here from LGD, expecting the move. They also have that op sentry on the north side, so they did see it. Very deep court. They put a lot of attention on the mid lane. It's working well for them here right now.
The double blink's ready on XG. See where they go with this.
And how much, where is nothing? Nothing to say doesn't really want to leave the mid lane. Like, he doesn't want to go bottom and look for a play. He wants to catch this lead.
You want that absolutely top of the list here. What she's going to be looking for.
LGD now making the move themselves. Leave FY. Got a secondary one if he needs to use it. Whoa.
I'm not seeing them, quickly try and do anything with the blinks, and they do show them. Try and run, but on top of him, he's dead. Look at the sharpshooter coming in. XXX is going to try and jump to the King Junglers is here ready to help out with the bushwhack into the left straight away. Arme turns up, but won't have the reach to get any sort of damage onto Thompson. Has to be careful himself here with 2 dead on XG.
Awkward for them. LGD very ready for the move.
Well, they were. I mean, the 2 blinks come out, but nothing really happens, and they lose 2 lives themselves.
Oh, this is cool. And it's a bit of a different build that we see from Whisper than we've seen usually here. It's a really good Crimson game versus the Slardar and the Drought. The damage is very limited on the side of XG in terms of magical.
That makes it even less likely that they get kills with this blink.
Yeah, and even Thompson might even survive.
Need kills.
He gets just the support though. They want the bigger targets. Yuma is starting to get that recovery.
He is. He's crawling closer and closer towards that relic. They need so much more here.
This is looking much more disciplined this time around from LGD than last time.
Arme's farm is still good.
It is.
Yeah, he had to carry relatively hard in game 1. He's going to have to carry much harder here in game 2.
And he doesn't have like the broken tree next to him this time either. Sure, you've got ET for some protection, but you don't have this tree overgrowth plus this living armor that's always going to be there to bail you out in a lot of scenarios. Much more difficult lineup to execute on the side of XG than the last time to protect Ame. And it's into Stampede too, so have to be ready to protect him, otherwise they will just close that gap.
Nothing to say. If he can find a setup here off the back of the Moonlight Shadow, but Tower, does he want to jump Whisper? Probably not.
Super tanky. They'd have to do the full chain stun onto him. I really like this Crimson pickup, I gotta say.
It does, I said it really kind of just stops them from being able to make these sort of jumps.
Yeah, because Panel was saying too, right? Centaurs usually, they don't build that armor. It's just the Dominator and it's the heart. This is gonna completely shut down the aggressive potential from that corrosive haze type of play and that movement.
Because it looks like he's not gonna go for the heart at all with the build.
Probably not.
He's queuing up the Shivas next.
Yeah, just go for all that armor.
Blink
Shivas.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah. So
like the pivot.
It's just a straight change up to not only to these Blink Rush plays, but also the fact there's an ET in the game.
Yep. Love it. We love to see it.
4K lead here for LGD, and 4K lead for the lineup with a Spectre. Feels kind of good. Sure, Yuma's still not at the, he's at the bottom side of the cores, but he's getting space, he's getting time, and that relic's pretty much done.
Spectre and Lina, right? Like we can never write off what Thompson can do. Well, any of these Linas can do, as we saw in that last game especially.
So like, it needs to be more kind of hastiness from XG. Well, they try to move, they got a hook wink, they're not trying for another move.
They've been afraid to make these moves. One thing they do have always is like their lineup eventually, like at some point, right, the high ground D is insane, so, but that's much later down the lines. They don't want to fall too far behind in terms of map control.
And playing for that as your strong point is definitely a risk. Yeah. We'll see what the plan is going to be from XG, but for now, things have seemed to slow down from them.
The LGD farms very fast with their heroes, right? The Lina versus the Magnus is going to out-farm it quite rapidly. The Centaur versus the Slardar. Centaur farms way faster.
Whisper as well. Whisper on any of his off-lane heroes. He seems to always be the top 2-3 net worth.
And Centaur's just kind of busted with the way that he farms because he just has this Dominator. Never has to really... Well, he can join with this hero, but the creep just does enough when he just stampedes it. One of these games, though, that is not the highest kill. Last game also, in the early game, a bit slow.
Sure, you got Arme hitting the creeps, but as I said, any time that the game is this peaceful, the Spectre players the happiest.
They're the happiest. And look at the itemization that they're all going for on the side of LGD, right there. Okay, guys, there's not really the most magical damage on the side of XG's lineup. Sure, the splitter will be an issue, but they're going Solar Crest. They're more and more of these answers.
Trying to jump onto kill the core.
It's hard for them to make
it. Nearly dying to the illusions. Managed to sneak away with a Moonlight Shadow.
Just really don't have a mid laner to rally around because of how bad it went, and then he's unable to find anything with the blink reveal so far.
He's just gonna have to take time here to try and get the BKB. Feels that he can't go for a fight before he has that. Nothing to say. Be a while away though.
search on. Sure, Yuma's getting happier and happier as it goes on. Not getting picked off. Let's see if they're gonna try again here. They just don't have enough. They're even gonna bring Ame down here, but it's already getting red. LGD, they see him.
Nice up. Did you get the sleep of the spin up ahead of the dodgy? Laguna comes in to take down XXS. Light Striker right down as well on the
And Ame came down here too, so he's in trouble.
As a power shot slow, put the man to try and run. He's got FY with him. King Jonas is going to see if he can find the lockdown. And Dust will push him back.
Very good.
I mean, you can see how right. Bringing Ame in for that sort of play.
Look at him go.
Honestly, LGD's just playing this super nice. I really like the way they covered with wards as well too. Most of the attention in the first 14 minutes was around that mid lane, right?
Dire's
Now,
bottom
bottom, we're
tower
seeing them
is under
cover,
attack.
protect Yuma so they can ensure getting this timing of the Radiance. Everything's going their way now. A 6
This is, yeah, totally ways, but it's already looking pretty.
Nothing to say he's got to get involved. That's the important thing. But Ame getting involved in the Magnus just hitting creeps, that feels pretty bad.
Sure, he wants his BKB, but it does feel like the game is in that sort of desperate position where you got to maybe just try for some sort of blink on play before that.
It's hard for them. It's hard for them to find these angles. Honestly, LGD, they're just playing the map really nicely. They're not having anyone too far pushed forward that's going to get caught and skewered away. Just, yeah, really liking the responses that we're seeing from LGD in this time. XG has not really found much of anything in these last 10 minutes.
Allies disappear.
Tormentor though, looks like they should be able to ensure this one with the corrosive haze.
LGD's heading over and, well, actually, they seem a bit scared.
Yep, I think they did see them there too, so yeah, they're backing away.
Make this play. Another thing that LGD is only behind them all.
Harry heads up. They're just reading every single one of the plays so far here. And they even have tabs of Ame with the team build that they had. So they know exactly where the Drow is too. They saw him for a second. It's now despawned, but they did see him.
Are scanning. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This is very crisp. And Thompson down this point, he's got the Agnes out the first 7 versus the Drow. She turns up.
Yeah, Thompson's having a
Radiant's middle tower
insane
is
game.
under attack.
The Dream Star, he's made the most of it. Perfect farm, top of the net worth.
Yeah, to die, no attention been put on him really. Yeah, nothing to say, just one of the quietest games we've seen from him.
Yeah. It's a risky hero. We don't see a lot of people try them, I guess. I guess, this is just one of the reasons why, right? If you have a tough lane, it is very, very hard to get your game back online.
Especially if they just don't show you and they don't give you any opportunities. Like, look at the lane positioning, right? Where is the Magnus going to go for a blink RP skewer type of play? With the way that LGD is distributed, there's just no one to really go for it. Thompson's not pushing the lanes too far. They've already got all these early tier 1s. They don't want to hit tier 2s yet at this point with the Spectre lineup. Really controlling the map here. Aggressive to be done. At least one of them. I didn't see if the Link also went for it. And it Yules for Theo, so that Magnus, I mean, he needs the BKB as well, too.
Yules is a Magnus.
Yeah, I was hoping to see somebody pick it up, and yeah, they are going to pick it up on one of these supports. I think he's got it done. No, if you don't like pre-BKB,
no, you're never going to sort of blink playoff.
This is looking tough for XG. I mean, we said he had his work cut out from in the last game. This one, it's way more. Yeah, it really is. Playing versus multiple different counters.
But, maybe you wanted more of a challenge. The game was easy. Take it a bit more chill this time around, or more of a challenge. Certainly getting it hit.
Is for sure.
Every moment has Yuma closing the gap on him, which is very scary for the Drow into the Spectre. Sure, if you had that sort of item advantage, you aren't going to be able to play to your strengths as a Drow against the Spectre. But if the Spectre's this close behind you on farm, it is not a fun time for the Drow.
Okay, BKB is done, but again, I'm just continuing to just look at the lanes. There's more moves. They're just gonna have to deal with the fact that LGD, they farm faster than you, and they have some very good scaling as well too.
And as you said, it really feels like that they're
wait for the late game.
They're gonna play for the wait till they come to us. Yeah,
yep.
wait until they push. Try and catch them in the base. Go for the big skewer plays. that's what they're going for.
Hey, to be fair, if they land like a big RP and a Earth Splitter, heroes are going to get evaporated. It's just hard to execute.
Yeah, it's a high-risk approach. It's a fun approach, because it could lead to a pretty crazy comeback.
Definitely can.
But it could also lead to a pretty quick demise if the success is not there on that high ground defense.
Yeah, and the Drow might also just get deleted
Dyer's
as she
middle
tries to
tower
follow
is
up
under
to some of these
attack.
plays if they do get the catch. Okay, here we go. Biggest clash.
It's got the BKB on both of them, in fact. XXS and nothing to say with the blink BKBs.
Those are pretty important, especially now that they're getting closer to these tier 2s.
Of course, gonna scout them out though, and full Shivas is on the way out here for Whisper.
I think for LGD, ideally, they want to just go for this Rosh now. You don't want to go for these super aggressive plays and get caught and pulled away.
Do you go for Thompson here?
You do if you can. Too far now.
Little too quick here on the Luna.
Okay.
The arrows. He's ready to turn. This army's not going to get the chance to do something. Empire and Army to fall.
So desperate.
Yeah, the desperation continuing here, very visibly from XG's plays.
And that was just way too. If you catch him earlier, right in the water, perhaps you can pull him back. Then you can go for that deep.
I mean, yeah, F1 really wanted to try and set that up with the Shield's arrow play.
And
he had a shield rune in the bottle ready to go, so unless you're bursting him through that RP stun, it's not going to happen, and they just don't have the damage to do anywhere close to it. Now he's got a full shield as well, Thompson.
Also, the Centaur's there. He gets the Crimson Guard on him. It's going to block him. So much of the damage that they really do have at this point.
These sort of attempts, they just needed to come a little bit earlier from XG, and they didn't.
And I like how LGD, they, we saw them last night a bit aggressive there around tier 2, and they're like, wait, we're not going to do this. We don't need to be in this area. We can force them to make these mistakes, and then we can approach it now. This game is looking so hard.
All on the high ground for XG. I think definitely after that play, I can only imagine they are now going to be saying, right, let's literally just never do that again.
Yeah.
Just keep hitting creeps, wait until they go for a tier 3 push. We don't want to try and make a play anywhere else, especially
Dyer's
once they've got
middle
an Aegis out on
tower
top.
is under attack.
You know, they sort of missed that window of opportunity.
Man, that was so rough. That's the double BKB reveal, and you get literally nothing. Ame just gets handed on a silver platter, standing in a place that he does not want to be. Much cleaner game this time from LGD.
Maybe, as it has been in many other series so far, this TI, the leaner factor quite similar between these teams. Arme getting to have an incredible showing with it in game 1, and now in this game 2 from the mid, Thompson having a flawless performance.
Pretty insane hero. And he doesn't have to go for the, the magic resist talent that we talked about too. We've seen more of these mid players also taking just the straight damage at the 15 talent. Because of the work ethics of the magic, so.
Yeah. And overall, just pretty impressed with the itemization from LGD as a whole.
Yep.
Rotation with some of these heroes, getting that armor,
Build the armor
across the board.
Yep, you're playing versus ET Slardar, so that's natural to do this type of build, and yeah, really happy that Whisper pivoted especially.
UD, Sages can boxes, tier 2s.
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
I'm very likely
Dyer's
that
structures are fortified.
XG probably not going to be going for any sort of crazy moves.
No, like we said, play for high ground.
Yeah, play away from LGD for now. Only look to meet them when you're forced to.
Dyer's
There's a
top
game where
tower
Ame also
is under
he needs
attack.
to buy
Dyer's
BKB on the
top
Drow,
tower
so can't
has
just go for
fallen.
this type of greedy item builds because he can't just get deleted.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, that was sort of the painful thing in that last fight, right? The other two cores, they had their BKBs, but Ame's like, why are you dragging me into this? I don't have mine yet.
Or you're nothing to say, but RP skewers and BKB TPs out, and Ame's like, hey, what the hell is that, bro?
Yeah, good job you. I don't have a BKB. No, indeed, he's going to be quite happy when he has
Radiant
that online.
are scanning.
Great control.
Dyer's
LGD.
middle tower
Just
is
disciplined
under
gaming play
attack.
there. Not really pushing the issue. They don't feel like they need to. Chilling back and farming. More and more scaling. Yashikaya now for the Lina.
Let's see, will we get those big plays? Now, will Nothing to say to be able to redeem what's been a pretty slow game where he's not been able to do a whole lot.
It would be
maybe
so
You know,
impressive.
there's still an option. There's still a chance for redemption here for the man.
Okay, Whisper might, I was going to say, I think Whisper might just go for the Aghanims now at this point, because then if they are going for high ground push and someone does get, he can just save them as well, too.
Yeah.
I mean, Heart's fine anyway, too.
Because then he could just stand there in the tower. He's going to go up and stand there in the tower. They're going to have to decide, do they want to jump this even Centaur and try and put him out of position to kill him? Probably not. But
Radiant's
when
middle
he's sort
tower
of sitting
is
there in
under
the tower,
attack.
taking your tower, it might be the only option you have. The tier 2 taking it.
Keep pushing, keeping in. Right. He actually died just to the Laguna.
Is under attack.
He had to use the spell of slow burn, but he will literally just die to the Laguna across the bird.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
There's no space. No space for the side of XG this game. Literally only 3 kills. They haven't been able to find anything. They didn't shut down Yuma often enough, and yeah, just
Dire's bottom
for
tower
nothing to
is
say.
under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Centaur. Can we check out?
He's not going for the ice.
Yeah! I was going to say, because if you're going for siege, you know, Lena's going to be hitting tower. Your only real worry is that they get caught. You can just jump in, card out, and sit.
I think it's already with the Crimson Achievers, you can attack the tower.
Exactly.
Stand there.
Yeah. I prefer this, honestly. Even though Heart is so good.
Yeah.
He's already tanky enough.
Zama's BKB.
Okay, his damage is not as though, right? I mean, sure, he's a drought, so it's going to be there naturally, but they are naturally tanky on the side of LGD with the way they've itemized. He needs that Silver Edge for the Spectre in particular. But as we said, it's not really the Spectre. It's been shown to be most of the problem. Thompson.
Yuma's kind of chilling. He's sort of the backup policy for LGD.
Honestly, yeah, these Lenas are going to have to be addressed a bit better, it feels like, in some cases. Tumble, leap. Lucky to survive. They're getting kind of stuck in the base now, and it's starting to be pretty limited how they can step outside on XG. The X-Nova being up here could just... Yuma's probably just considering going for the move. They know exactly where the ET is. Aegis is going to get reclaimed.
I'll try something around the Aegis approach. Finally dies! We got a lot of damage out!
Oh mate, the snipe!
Sharpshooter onto it! We've got any further jump to finish him off!
They do!
The power shot!
And he actually takes through just because Crimson lost 90% of their damage, it feels like.
You come in blood, big smile on your big dumb face.
It's something, but of course still nowhere near enough.
Dire's middle tower
Game anyway,
is under
closer
attack.
to a state that XG is going to be happy with. They lose 3 heroes themselves, including the carry.
At decent time, right? They waited for that Aegis to be reclaimed, but yeah, they're just too far ahead now at this point on LGD. The drought does not do that much damage.
And I'm just what? He just didn't have the chance to get him in the car?
I think he got stunned. Something clipped him and he couldn't actually.
It looked like Whisper was going to be able to save him there.
Yeah, it was close. LGD will take that all day.
Yeah. An attempt there from XG to try and work around that Aegis going away, but doesn't go as well as they nearly needed to.
Well, Scotty coming out for the Spectre suit as well.
Tormentor here for LGD.
Even with all the things that we're mentioning about, you know, the high ground and all that, they're just getting too tanky, too beefy.
This is what you need. You need the harpoon, the refresher, and treat yourself to an Aether Lens on top of that. And get them dragged back into the fountain.
You need honestly, you need a multi-hero RP, but it's not really easy. It's not going to be given.
It's not an easy lineup.
It's not going to be given to you.
Like what 2 of these heroes are standing next to each other?
Exactly. You're not going to get it unless they make a big mistake.
It's very difficult. This as well is also one of the reasons why I was a little surprised with Magnus pick, because it's just not a lineup that you look at and say, imagine the RPs, right? Sure. You're just never going to get a good RP against this lineup.
The other thing, right, that I think most of us have been kind of talking about is when you pick this, you don't have a combo now with the Mirana in most situations, which most of the times when we see this Mirana have some success, you have, I know Ember and all these were banned, and so it's the Conquer that me and you are looking at, but yeah, you don't have a combo.
That would have actually been hard.
Yeah. No way to play around the Magnus. No way for the Marauder to follow up. And yeah, just as you see, so much protection here for Thompson. Just Solar Crest Crimsons, even some neutral creep with some aura.
Last time in the fight, if they do manage to get picked up in the cart, he won't live. And he nearly lived without it. Silver Edge going to be that next big timing for Ame, but still a while away from it. Maybe with that, they can have some sort of chance of taking out the Spectre, but honestly, even with the break, now Amachuma's caught up and now taken the lead spot ahead of Ame. Not an easy hero to kill.
Never feel good. Doesn't feel really good to be that Drow an item behind versus a Spectre at any means. Yuma even going to go for the safe build next, going to kill the BKB. They're hunting, looking for somebody here. If they get a kill, it's immediately into that Roche for the side of LGD.
Scanning.
And when you look at the drafts too, right? XG, they're the draft that wants to be getting the Roshans constantly. They have the Haze, they have the Drow. It's just not able for them in the game state. AC for XXS, even more physical, but as we said, there's a lot of a lot of armor already built up on the side of LGD. The answers.
Shadows take us.
It's the moonlight. Try and get out with this.
Roche is up. It's about to start shifting to the bottom side. And
Looking
LGD.
at Yuma, but we're too far away from the Just trying to force out some sort of TP reaction.
That's interesting. So they get to try to get outside of the base after, because there's no way he's making a move there.
No, you're just getting reaction.
Oh, interesting. Roche, it's going to start shifting. So XG started TP over.
Maybe you do go for this move now, Yoshi, because you feel that you might pull something. Roshan's going to be bottom. Maybe you can try.
You don't want to give up a free Roche to a Spectre. You want to be able to contest this Roshan on the side of XG.
Safely. Any sort of attempt to interrupt is going to have to come now.
They're a bit far now at this point too. They forced the board. LGD's anticipating a fight.
They're playing it very safe, LGD, yeah, looking down the whole area while they go for the rush.
It's just like, alright, maybe we just can't contest it, it seems. So that does not feel good. When you're trying to go back, this one is to go for this high ground defense. And you've been playing the same
High ground push is likely going to be coming very soon. You do have any surprises left on the defense?
Can they get the full wombo combo? Can they land it on multiple heroes is the question, really. It is going to be enough if they do, without taking it all
Radiant's
getting.
top tower is under attack.
And how many damage just really isn't increasing too much, too. Very defensive style build that he's gone for have to go for this game.
Yeah, really needs that Silver Edge at least, but still
Radiant's
not
top
looking
tower
likely
is
that he's
under
going to have
attack.
it completed before this
Dire's
first
middle
attempt
tower
to
is under
down
attack.
from LGD.
Double catapults
Radiant
with the banner.
structures
Stop pushing.
Radiant's top tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower
Yuma
is
very
under
close to
attack.
having that BKB coming out too, even by
turret
Grief,
has
so
been killed.
I mean, they're looking at it really soon. That's what that means there from the side of LGD, picking up this on the supports as well.
They're going to feel how far ahead they are at this point.
Nice plays. An arrow to take out one catapult through the banner. They just have to move it away, so at least they'll be able to stop the push there for a moment. But pretty much the entire tower did drop there.
That's nearly got it, Army.
Okay.
Few little things coming together for XG that might just give them an opportunity to kill someone if they do get caught. Why there's some sort of steal back into the base.
Look at LGD playing it smart, right? Not looking to force it super hard. Yuma goes back, picks up another item. They finish up Thompson's Octarine. Keeping that farm increased. It's difficult, as we said, for XG to step outside. Anybody shows can just die in an instant with a haunt and it'll catch up there from Thompson with the bots. assist.
He's nearly got the refresher though, right? I think it's just a recipe away.
Okay.
So if he could get the playing for.
That's what they need.
That's what he's playing for.
That's what they need.
Like the combo. They can execute such a play.
Would be one of the bigger ones that I think we'll see in this TI if it does happen. But the way the LGDs can setting themselves up, they're not giving the opportunities. They're chilling. Yeah, what are we at? 93%. Feels like it's that's actually generous.
It's just bumped up to an 8%. You know, I said the system's believing in the refresher comeback potential of the Magnus.
Well, and that's actually strange because usually it loves Spectre. Usually it's like Spectre's in the game.
So if I'm the Magnus, I'm telling the team this game ain't over until the throne falls. I'm getting my refresher. We're making a comeback.
That's how they have.
Nothing to say he believes.
What they gotta do. Someone's gotta cause some chaos, force them to all stack up, get that 4 or 5 arrow dude.
Right. Now the only problem does come, I believe he doesn't have actually mana for the full combo, right?
I don't think he does.
No, that is one of the problems sometimes when you go for this. You're dreaming big things, you're not actually going to have enough mana.
Actually, no, he has mystical. He got mystical.
Oh, he has got mystical. He got mystical. You've got to get something that's going to allow you to get the full combo twice.
I was going to say, wait, his mana cost, so he did get the neutral item, will be able to allow him to very low. That'll do it.
So there's the refresher. Okay. And he has got a full wand as well, so extra mana to pump into himself.
Okay, TS, can you do it?
So next up, get that ether lens. Of course, the shard as well to help you. It's still the extra skewer range, right? They didn't change that in the last, but no, it's extra skewer range.
They're going out. This is a dangerous move here. Trying to catch.
I don't know about
that. And split off is what.
This is risky.
Support. Gets the blink off. He's gone.
Yeah, back to this. Back to this. Yeah, do you really want to still try and force this? This
is such a risky play they're going for. If they get caught and wrapped around behind,
I feel like that fountain is your friend. You don't want to be fighting away from the fountain. There's 27k behind. It's not going to be easy anywhere else.
I guess they're just hoping that they catch one of the cores somehow split off hard, but even then. More and more daggons. Dobson. Very scary. I mean, some of these heroes could just die. If they get stunned, they might just die in the magic burst.
Oh, they will.
To him.
They certainly will. No doubt about it. This in this position.
With the catalyst as well, 2 heroes are going to disintegrate. Yuma, level 25, has been hit.
Yeah, I like this as well. He realizes he doesn't need to be dead. Ended up getting from Bastion to Abyss, so now he's getting butterfly.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
At this point, you're this far ahead.
Sure.
Everybody need to be careful.
That's nice. Okay. Gets it for free.
And then up those final shards. You at least have 2 buybacks on both of those heroes.
I'm wanting to use it, but probably gonna have to. The push coming in.
I think you let yourself get Mega Creep. Play for the tier 4 defense.
Nothing to say, smoked up.
You got to go for the ridiculous plays to try and come back in this one.
I just don't even know. I swear, I don't think the damage is hit him either. Even if he gets it, I can't free pass.
That's why you got to get him in the fountain.
You gotta get him in the fountain.
You got to get him in the fountain.
Dire's top
And you're not
tower
really
is
doing that for
under
the tier
attack.
3s. You're doing it for the tier 4s for the refresher skill. You're not doing it for the tier 3.
That's gonna go for this. He's able to try the tops.
I think you're over the other door. That's the Wind Ranger. Now the XX's coming back in there to get ready for that, but that
Yules from FY.
Yeah, that was FY, right?
Yeah, got it right on the centaur during that.
Made all the difference. Otherwise, yeah, that leader's getting out. Not only getting out, but probably killing your whole team and winning the game.
That was very
XG gets to breathe another breath. The life continues.
As you said, high risk, high reward plays that they kind of have to just go for at this point with this deficit.
Radiant's
She
middle
is going to be
tower is under
respawning soon
attack.
too. This is still dead for some time.
And that bumped up to 11%.
Fly now finish off
And then,
the
the algorithms, they are believing in the nothing to say redemption story here.
Instantly pops the refresh. They're looking
I
at the
think
move.
a surprise RP. You never expect this one. They're counting the cooldowns, and this is one of those positions where sometimes counting the cooldown works against you.
They should be able to get this motion time because of this. That's super fast.
Alright, 28k gold down.
The shaman has fallen into the dark.
Now they get another refresher shard for themselves too, so can't look to play with that. Impressive. 20 seconds till the Lina does respawn though. Butterfly now also for Yuma.
Keep the Radiance, who got rid of the Radiance for the Butterfly?
Yeah, nullifier time too.
Twisted.
Well, a little bit of a shake-up.
Shake up. So for Whisper now for the next times, he's gonna pre-click BKB if one of his cores, especially top.
Oh, that's true, because he does have it.
Yeah.
That's easy.
He has
that last one.
Yep. I think he just didn't anticipate to have it that quickly. Very good play there. And also an unexpected one, like we were saying, right? They were probably anticipating that it was gonna come close to the ground as well. So yeah, overall Whisper can still get the safe hit from BKBs, and they also now do have a Wind Waker, so they have multiple different ones to be able to protect each other. Oh, he's actually just going. Okay, no, he's just good with that. Or is he actually going for this?
Going for the what?
Oh, he's just gonna do like double disassemble plays and all that, or what? Because he's going for Radiance plus
Radiant
Nullifier.
are scanning.
He's just queued up the next talisman for some reason, so a bit interesting. Maybe it was just a QB item.
It's not really. You don't want to rebuy the Radiance, right?
He just used a Nullifier. I don't know. Interesting.
Yeah. It's just queued up for whatever reason.
Yep.
Nullifier is there for Yuma.
3 minutes on Aegis, so they're smoking again.
Ooh, okay.
RP, second one, 60 seconds.
Taking the big risk, but I'm all for it. Fun
Have
to
to.
see it from XG.
You absolutely have to at this point on XG.
Dire are scanning.
Especially with this Aegis advantage, they can start to try to sneak forward here.
In the trees, he's going to put a stop to the smoke. He's going to move on past him. They want the Spectre, but Yuma's out.
Ame is still incredibly vulnerable with this build too. He's still very
Dire
squishy.
are scanning.
LGD can just wait. Wait for 2 minutes.
Yeah, wait.
No need to risk it.
No.
Or just wait on a high. And they could also just wait on a high ground positioning and anticipate an XG movement into them, because they still can take a fight very easily, obviously. I like this, giving the refresher shard perhaps to the ET as well. Double splitter. Every little thing they need.
Takes it over to Arne. Arne's gone. Nothing to say to fall. Outside of the base did not work this time around. They have some buybacks, but they don't have a buyback on Arne. He doesn't have the money.
Desperate move to go for that there.
Dire's middle tower has fallen. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower
They have a
has
buyback
fallen.
on nothing to say, but I don't think he's got any RPs. LGD will insane comeback here today.
They got a rush. At least they got something out of how one side of this game truly is. They did get a couple of catches here, but yeah, LGD, what this was.
So they could take the early fights, and Drow Ranger just couldn't deal any damage. So, good game from LGD.
Yeah, this was it was like boringly flawless from them, to be honest. They won pretty much all of their lanes. They didn't give any openings to Extreme. Like all the times that we saw, you know, Yuma farming in locations where there was even a remote chance that Extreme could pick them off, it was because his entire team was behind him. You know, Whisper also just farmed. He wasn't doing anything that special. Just used the creep, got every single creep wave, dodged the ganks that were coming to him. There was a few times that Extreme smoked to him, like with the Magnus Blink, and he just knew it was there, and he Yatoro'd. He just dodged it at the right time, and eventually they close it out. Flawless stuff from LGD.
If you look at the draft, the LGD draft scales super well. They have the Spectre, they have the Centaur, they have Lina. So this game was always going to be hard for Extreme late game. So their only hope was they won the Slardar lane. They could have played through the Slardar and, you know, make something happen that way. Or hopefully they could have made it through the Magnus, but since he got so destroyed mid, it becomes really hard. And then the game just, you know, it gets late and then LGD wins.
Yeah, that was real rough from Nothing to Say. I think if they were to...
He only died 3 times, though.
That is utterly shocking to the degree I'm convinced that's a visual bug. He just didn't have that much impact, and this was a really late picked Magnus. It was a last pick. It was a last pick Magnus, right? Yeah. So, I mean, I get the idea. Like, I think Tal, you've mentioned it on a few of the other panels. Whenever Alina comes out, a classic counter is these repositioning type heroes, but then she just obliterates him in lane. So it's kind of like you're picking into a counter in that way. But yeah, we had to give the MVP to.
Did we though?
We were.
I thought it might be Thompson.
We were between Thompson and Whisper, right?
Yes, we were. And I think in this game in particular, if we only look at the one game, one of the main reasons why Extreme couldn't get their feet off the ground is because Nothing to Say had nothing to say this game. That was because of Thompson on his Lina.
Yeah, I see what you did there.
Thank you.
Because they sort of recognize that they don't have that much damage on Extreme Gaming side because they're so far behind. So all you have to do is just not die to the initial jump, and you're just going to win the fight. So good itemization, good gameplay. I don't think he found a single opening.
Yeah.
So maybe they could have pushed the blink dagger timing a little bit just to try to find one little RP, even on a support, anything. But they didn't get a single opening. I think LGD also played well around it. They were always like in good group formation, but it didn't work out.
Now, I also like what Jenkins said at the start, that Magnus has a horrible win rate against Spectre. And I don't think it's necessarily only because you cancel the blink RP with the Haunt, but I also think even if you do get this RP into skewer back, the Spectre will always be able to Haunt on top of you, or like your backline. So even though you get this Lina and you skewer him back, he's not really away from his team. The Spectre is able to jump there as well, so you're never really putting anyone out of position. So then what's the point of the Magnus?
Yeah, that makes sense to me. It's like counter initiation too, right? Like you have a hero who, it's really obvious when the Magnus team is going to go. You see that circle, you see your team get stunned and skewer back. It's like, okay, the fight is starting and there's no getting out for either team. And Spectre's like, okay, perfect. You know, I'll press R and destroy the team fight.
Yep. And now it's 1-1. Where, by the way, every single first series of the day on every stream is a 1-1. It just goes to show how close everybody is safe. I feel like that's quite unique.
It just proves to show how incredible this TI is, how close the teams are, and maybe it's some nerfs or maybe it's just great seeding, but it's just so impressive that all of these teams are so close, especially the Resilience Yandex. I'm very impressed by Resilience, and I'm hoping that this is not another moment of Resilience taking a game off of a super strong team and then losing the series afterwards.
They did lose the second game in 18 minutes, so that was a little bit of a rough one, but of course that's happening on the D stream if you're interested in what's happening over there. We are of course getting ready for our game 3 here coming your way between LGD and Extreme Gaming. But before we get there, we are going to check in with Xnova and how he felt before coming into this international.
Xnova, welcome back to TI, but it is a TI under much different circumstances than last year. Because last year you were coming in as a stand-in. When you were getting on that plane to Hamburg, what was your mindset like about getting into that TI?
Last year I came as a stand-in, so basically I felt really no pressure going to the tournament, to TI. So I was really enjoyed throughout the whole tournament until the finals,
The whole tournament, because that's what I was wondering is, at any point during the run, were you ever like, oh, this is getting kind of real now. Like, it's no longer just for fun. Like, we're going quite far. Or you're saying the whole time you were like, whatever happens, happens.
I felt the most nervous on the first game against Tundra at the playoff. Yeah, that was probably the only time I felt like not myself. But I immediately adjusted into it.
Nice. I like that you're saying that you felt not yourself, because that to me sounds like you're usually quite easygoing. Like when you come to a tournament, you're not that nervous. Is that true?
Not really. Sometimes you do feel nervous, you do feel pressured sometimes. But for me personally, I felt I played the best when I'm really calm and really like enjoying everything. The atmospheres, the vibes and everything in gaming.
Okay, so then if you don't mind me asking, how are you feeling right now coming into Shanghai?
Right now, I think I'm actually adjusting into like trying to catch back up how I felt last year. I mean, it was a long season for this year for me compared to last year where I just played for 1 or 2 tournaments. So yeah, I'm slowly catching back up and I hope I can enjoy it like last year.
So for you, when do you feel that rhythm? Like you were saying that you were nervous for the Tundra game last year.
Yeah.
After you beat them, you got back into it. What does that feel like for you? Like do your clicks feel better? Do you just know what to do? Can you even describe it?
I think I just stop at everything.
Okay.
Like basically everything. Like I'm enjoying like what I'm doing. I'm so clear-headed and like every spell casting or predicting what the opponents are doing, like everything is on sync.
How often does that depend on you syncing up with your teammates? Are you usually the kind of player that like as long as you're focused, you can worry about your game, or sometimes if your teammates are off, you can find that affects you as well?
I think as long as I'm focused, the others doesn't matter at all. Like I can basically like control everything.
Extreme gaming has a lot of attention this TI. A lot of people are looking at you guys. Does that pressure from the public, do you feel it at all, or does it do the opposite? Does it energize you?
We are playing at home ground, for sure. There would be a lot of expectation for us, and the tension would be there, for sure. There's no doubt.
You think that home field advantage, you're going to be able to feel it, like, not just with the crowd, but like I was talking to Bach earlier, and he was even saying that just seeing the signs and like you're seeing the Chinese script for text and stuff like that, it makes you feel at home.
Yeah, for sure. I think being here just feels like comfortable.
And then
Dire's top tower is under attack. are scanning. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack.
Double damage.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I'll take that.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's courier has been killed. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's top tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower is under attack.